going on, guys? It is Corbin Stuckey of PixelTalk here. I'm really excited to be doing this video. This is my top 10 movies of 2017. I've been wanting to do this since January. I did a video similar to this in 2016 where I talked about my top 10 video games, but I didn't do top movies. It's because I didn't see enough good movies, and I feel as though I saw a lot of good movies this year. I'm not doing top video games. I don't know, maybe I will. If you want to see top video games, comment down below. I don't think I'm going to be really able to do a top video games kind of video. I can tell you my favorite video games of 2017. I just feel like I didn't play enough games this year to do that kind of video, but I definitely saw a lot of movies this year, and I want to talk about my favorite movies of 2017. A couple things I want to get out of the way. Number one, this is just my personal list. If you don't agree with it, don't get offended. It's just my personal favorite list of 2017. This is not like the Oscars. This is just a guy making, YouTube videos online. So just don't get really offended if maybe a movie of yours isn't on the list. And number two, if a movie that you liked isn't on this list, it's probably because I didn't see that movie. For instance, I didn't see Dunkirk this year. I really regret that. I just didn't have time. If I saw it, it probably would be on this list. I hear the cinematography is great, but I just didn't have time to see Dunkirk. I want to see it in the future. I just haven't seen it now, so it can't be on this list. I apologize. I do have some honorable mentions though. Let's get started with that. Honorable mentions go to Split, Guardians of the Galaxy, Baby Driver, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok.
By the way, guys, I totally forgot to mention Lego Batman. I guess I just forgot it came out this year, but it was really hilarious, and everyone should go check it out. Why am I whispering? I don't know.
I couldn't really find a place on the list for those movies, but I did enjoy them a lot, so I wanted to mention them as honorable mentions. So yeah, let's get started with the actual list of top 10 movies of 2017. Wonder Woman. This was really good. I loved Wonder Woman. I think it's a really good DC movie. Not only DC movie, but a really good superhero movie. This is actually, I looked it up, it's actually the #1 origin film of all time in terms of superhero films, and I think it deserves it. I think this is a really good superhero film, and this is the first superhero film that I've seen with a female character that was good. There are plenty out there, but they're really not that good. They don't serve justice, but this is a really good movie. I'm very excited that Wonder Woman, we can say now that there is a Wonder Woman movie. And I found it better than Justice League, honestly. I like this movie a lot more than Justice League, and I think it's next to Man of Steel, I think it's one of my favorite DC films out there. So yeah, good job, Wonder Woman. Coco. I really enjoyed Coco. I almost didn't see this movie. Me and Michael were going to see The Disaster Artist, but The Disaster Artist for some reason wasn't out that week, so we were already at the movie theater, so we just decided to go see Coco. And it was good, guys. Coco is a really good film about family and the idea, what exactly is the idea of death, really? Is it just dying? Is it about being forgotten? What exactly is that idea about? And I really enjoyed that. If you'd like to see a little review that me and Michael did, it's going to be on his channel. I didn't do a review on my channel, but we definitely talked about this movie on Michael's channel, so definitely check it out. I think Coco's a really good Pixar movie. I definitely teared up a little bit. The Disaster Artist. This was a really interesting movie because it showcased how exactly The Room was made. And you can tell that this movie was being made by people who really cared about this movie and who really enjoyed the movie. James Franco loves The Room, and he really did justice for Tommy Wiseau by playing him. And I just thought this was a really interesting film. I have yet to buy the book, but I plan on it. I really want to know more in depth as to how this film was made. Greg from The Room wrote the book, and I think the movie leaves out a little bit of stuff, or maybe Greg goes a little bit too personal. I don't know. But this movie was very interesting. Tommy thinks that this movie is 100% true. So that was very interesting to see that from his point of view, this movie was 100% true. So, and it was interesting. It was really entertaining movie as well. Definitely check out The Disaster Artist. John Wick Chapter 2. I enjoyed the first John Wick, and I was really scared that this sequel might be pointless in some way, but I really enjoyed it. And I was scared that this film was going to be what Taken 2 was to Taken, I was really scared for this franchise. But this movie's actually really cool. I really enjoyed how we get to dive a little bit deeper into the John Wick universe, and we get to meet new characters. John Wick kills a lot more people. I just really enjoyed this, and the cinematography is great. It's a really cool blue/red lighting that is implemented into these films, and I really enjoyed John Wick. It's a really worthy sequel to the first John Wick, and I can't wait for more John Wick movies. War for the Planet of the Apes. This movie's crazy. I went to see this just to see it, and I loved it more than Dawn and Rise. The motion capture is really good, and there's actually a lot more emotional depth in this movie than there are in the first two. There's something that happens to Caesar in this that I was just like, whoa, okay, there's motive. And I just really enjoyed that. I just thought it was a really good Planet of the Apes film, and it's actually like a really sad ending. This trilogy comes to a close, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this, like, it's hard to believe that this started in 2011, and it's like kind of ending in 2017. If you are a fan of Planet of the Apes since like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, or just like since the first one, definitely check this out. It's a really good Planet of the Apes movie. Blade Runner 2049. This was awesome. I watched the first Blade Runner, and I liked a lot of the social issues that it touched on in terms of what exactly does it mean to be human. And I was wondering what they were going to do for the sequel, and if this was just going to be like a cash grab because they were doing another Blade Runner movie. But this movie actually touches on a little bit more exactly what it means to be human. If you're that kind of person who just thinks that the androids in the Blade Runner series are just androids, and you watch this movie and you learn a little bit more about what they're capable of, you're like, oh, they can do that. Wow, that changed my perspective on the androids. It's a really good movie, and there's a lot of stuff in there that isn't even about the androids. There is like an AI subplot that I really enjoyed, and Ryan Gosling does a really good job in this film, and the cinematography is also great as well. Check this movie out. Watch the first Blade Runner, but definitely check this out because this is really cool. Oh, also, there are like little short films online that you should probably check out before you watch this film. So yeah, definitely check those out. I think they really help a lot when watching this film. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I knew this film was going to be on my top 10 because I am really liking where this Star Wars franchise is going. Say what you guys will about the movie. I absolutely enjoyed this. I didn't enjoy it as much as Force Awakens, but I did see it 3 times, and I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I know there are a couple things that a lot of fans disagree on, but from what I've seen from the original movies, I think it was a really cool add-on to the story, and I really enjoyed what they did in terms of just doing something different, and I think Rian Johnson is just such a good director. Regardless though, I know this film has caused a lot of controversy with Star Wars fans, and I want to know exactly why. Apparently it affects the Star Wars lore from the books. I didn't really see anything that they changed from the original trilogy. I think they just added on to it, but apparently there's stuff that happens in the books that people don't necessarily agree upon. So for that reason, I'm going to start reading Star Wars books. I picked up the first Thrawn trilogy book, so I'm really excited to be reading that. This is what could have been. So I'm really excited to be reading this and what could have been for a Star Wars sequel trilogy. Regardless of what you think about the movie, I think we all can agree though that porgs are really, really, really cute. All right, we're at top 3. So what's my top 3rd movie of 2017? Get Out. I really enjoyed Get Out. I was really intrigued about this film and what the message was. And the reason why I enjoyed this film is because it does have a message. It really touches on a lot of social commentary about what's going on in our country, but it's also able to maintain itself as a movie. It's still able to be like a horror film, it's still able to be like funny, and I just didn't think that the message was just like forced down your throat. I thought it was just there, and the movie was still able to be just a movie, and I really enjoyed that. Get Out is a really good movie. It's not only fun to watch, but I feel as though it was a really important movie because it touches on a lot of things. Check it out. Check it out. Get Out. Check it out. Check out Get Out. Alright guys, so what's my top 2 movie of 2017? Logan. Logan's so good. Logan is a movie that's really hard to watch for me because I grew up watching X-Men in 2000. I remember Hugh Jackman's first performance as Wolverine, and I have seen this guy grow in the course of 17 years playing this character. With all the reboots that are happening in Hollywood, like, Spider-Man and, pretty much everything Marvel-worthy, this guy's been playing Wolverine for 17 years, and he did something totally different with the character, and it actually made me sick to my stomach because it's so different, and I hated where this character was at the time during this film, and I hated the way that the movie ended. But I don't want to be confused as hate as I'm thinking that this movie is bad. It's like I feel so bad for this character, and I think that is what makes for this film, is where this character is at and how his life is affected by some of the things that are happening in this film. It is a very serious film. I wouldn't even really categorize it as a superhero film. This is like more of a Western. And it sucks that Hugh Jackman is not going to be playing Wolverine anymore. And when the Fox deal happened where Disney bought Fox for $54 billion, I was really scared because I was afraid that films like Logan and Deadpool weren't going to be rated R anymore. But they have agreed that those films are going to be rated R. I am very excited because Logan has proved that there can be original superhero films with original stories and rated R content. So Logan, good job. You were probably the best superhero film of this year. Alright guys, so what is my favorite film of 2017? I thought long and hard about this. I've been thinking about this for probably a couple months now, and I really enjoyed this film. I saw it twice, and I just thought it was really enjoyable. It. I really loved it. You guys know that I love Stranger Things, and I love Stephen King, and I really enjoyed it, and the kids are amazing in this film. It is a funny film, but it's also really horrifying. There are things that happen to these kids that I'm just like, wow, I was not expecting that whatsoever. This is a really scary film. I really love how there are subgenres out there that are able to be scary and also be really freaking hilarious, because this film seems to do that so perfectly, and I love that. I loved it. I cannot wait to see Chapter 2. This film made a lot of money, and I am supporting it all the way through. It is an amazing movie. Guys, check it out. Check out my review on my channel. And yeah, that is my #1 film of 2017. So yes, guys, that was my top 10 films of 2017. If I left out a film that you really liked but wasn't on this list or even on the honorable mentions, comment down below and I will check out that film. I want to be updated as to what you guys like so I can learn more about who maybe directed it, and I can check out their feature films in the future. Future films in the future. What? Comment down below what you thought of this list, like the video, share it, and please subscribe to PixelTalk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is PixelTalk.